Criticism. It's not really pleasant for most people. Even constructive feedback can sting. We have to sort of recognise who we are as a person and our intentions, so that when people say something negative towards us or about us, we can differentiate between someone who's just using a personal attack to try and bring us down, and someone who's trying to give us some constructive feedback, whereby if we take on board the advice, it can potentially help us. Narcissistic individuals love putting other people down, criticising other people, mocking other people, under the pretense that they're just trying to help, they're just trying to be supportive. However, with their double standards, they don't take too kindly to any form of constructive feedback, because they already believe that they know everything. There's lots of reasons why narcissists react so badly to criticism, and it's not just stubbornness. There are real reasons behind their intense reactions, because when a narcissist receives some form of criticism, it triggers that narcissistic injury, leading to narcissistic rage, which can potentially put you in danger. So even the most well-meaning advice to a narcissist, they take it as a personal attack, offence, and they usually attack back. They usually try and attack back physically, psychologically, sexually, spiritually, emotionally. They try to get you back. One of the first reasons a narcissist cannot stand criticism is their giant fragile ego. Beneath their confident exterior, their charismatic charm, which covers their arrogance, is their very fragile ego. Criticism to a narcissist is a direct attack to that ego, shaking their self-image to the core. They can't take in any sort of feedback because they believe they're already perfect. They believe they already know everything. They don't have any flaws. You do. They don't make mistakes. You do. Which is why they can turn around and say, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot you were perfect. Which is also part of their protection, because they believe themselves to be perfect. Narcissists can't take criticism because they need to be in control. Narcissists want to control how other people perceive them. They're creating the narrative, the image to sell to those around them. When criticism challenges that image, challenges that control, it makes them feel exposed and powerless, and they play many different mind games to regain that control. Narcissists also fear being seen as flawed. We're human. We've all done things that perhaps we're not proud of, or we've all got vulnerabilities that we don't really want the whole world to know about, especially when there's a world full of people that will latch on to these vulnerabilities and bring people crashing down just because they've got nothing better to do. However, with a narcissistic individual, they need to be seen as perfect. They need to appear perfect. Any criticism that reveals any imperfection that they've worked so hard to hide, they take great offence to, which is why they'll usually just go all out to attack you and criticise you in some way. Narcissists have an inability to take responsibility. Accepting criticism means accepting that we've made a mistake, or that perhaps if we tried a different approach, different way, something might actually work out better, that we're here to grow, to evolve, not to stay stuck. Narcissists avoid responsibility. It damages their carefully crafted self-image. They don't want to grow. They want to exploit. They want to manipulate. They want to get their needs met. It's also a defensive mechanism. When criticised because it's caused that narcissistic injury, they often react with narcissistic rage. It can be that anger, denial, shifting the blame. It can be the passive aggressive, backhanded compliments, the silent treatments, anything to avoid their feelings of vulnerability. Could be due to the fact that narcissistic individuals will find out your vulnerabilities purely to use them against you. So they don't want you knowing about theirs. They probably think that you're coming from the same place they are, as we can do with narcissistic individuals, until we realise they're coming from a dark place with no empathy. Narcissists lack empathy. They struggle to understand other people's feelings or points of view. So criticism to a narcissist feels like hostility. It feels like an attack rather than any form of constructive feedback. They don't believe you're helping them. They believe you're hindering them or out to get them. And this could be due to the fact that narcissistic individuals don't give you constructive feedback. They give you feedback to try and sabotage you because they don't want to see you doing better than themselves. They're trying to bring you down so they possibly believe that you're doing the same thing. And narcissists need that validation. Narcissists crave excessive attention. Criticism cuts off that supply, leaving them feeling empty and desperate to regain approval. When you're dealing with a narcissist, it's vital to remember that even the most gentle of criticism is not going to change their behaviour. You can't call them out and they're going to wake up and see the light and change. It doesn't work that way with narcissistic individuals. You need to protect your mental, physical and psychological health. You need to create those healthy boundaries. Don't take the things they do and say personally, which is challenging because they get to know your vulnerabilities and they make it incredibly personal. They use the things you care about the most against you to make sure they hurt you the most and then blame you. However, remember that real growth comes with that self-awareness and respect, which narcissistic individuals tend to lack. If anyone has any thoughts on this video, please do add those into the comments for people reading through. Thank you very much to all the returning subscribers, and your continued support with the channel is greatly appreciated. If you are new to the channel, I'm Elizabeth Shaw. This channel is all about narcissistic behaviour to give you more understanding of the people you might be dealing with within your life, how to handle yourself around those people if you cannot go no contact, and different methods to find what works for you to help you understand and overcome narcissistic and emotional abuse. If you do find the information helpful on the channel, please do subscribe. If you are looking for further help and support in understanding and overcoming narcissistic and emotional abuse, I do have several online guides available, and those teachable links are in the video description. If you're looking for someone to speak to, I have partnered with BetterHelp, and their sponsored link is also in the video description. I do also have several books available on Amazon. How to create boundaries around those who have no respect for your boundaries, such as narcissistic individuals. 15 rules to deal with narcissistic people, how to stay sane and break the chain. Behind the Mask, The Rise of a Narcissist, which is a novel. Healing from Narcissistic Abuse, a guided journal for empowerment and recovery. And a Narcissists Handbook, the ultimate guide to understanding and overcoming narcissistic and emotional abuse. If anyone is interested in those, they are all available on Amazon. Go out there and create the day that you deserve, because you do deserve to have an amazing day. Bye.